Hello students, this is Coach Holliday, and today we're going to write linear equations in point-slope form. Now you may or may not have done this in 8th grade last year. Either way, we're going to look at it now, and I think this is the easiest way to write linear equations, and then we'll progress into some other methods later. The first thing I want to do is we're going to jump into it and we're just going to write what the equation is, and then I'll show you where it comes from, okay? So down this box here in your notes, we're going to write the equation. Point-slope form of a linear equation is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, where m is the slope, so that's the slope, and x1, y1 is a point on the line. So there's our y1 and there's our x1. So let's take just a quick second and look where this comes from. We're going to look at if you look at the slope formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 equals m. Notice that there's a fraction in this y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. We learned a few weeks back that if I have a fraction and I want to get rid of the fraction, I multiply both sides of the equation by the denominator. So I'm going to multiply both sides of the equation by x2 minus x1. And notice that x2 minus x1 are going to cancel on this side, and that leaves me with y2 minus y1 equals m times x2 minus x1. And notice that this looks very similar to what I have in this box. Okay? Alright, let's look and see how we can use this equation. We're going to write some equations, and we're also going to use the equation to graph the line. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with example 1. Example 1 says, what's the equation of the line that passes through negative 3, 6 and has a slope of negative 5? Alright, we need two things to be able to write the equation of a line and point slope. Those are the slope and a point. If we'll look in this problem, we have a slope, negative 5 is our m, and we have a point, negative 3, 6. So that's going to be our x1 and our y1. So all we do is plug those into the equation. So I would go y minus y1 is 6 equals m is negative 5, times x minus x1 is negative 3. Now the last thing we're going to do is we're going to simplify this. Y minus 6, that just stays y minus 6, equals negative 5. Now x minus negative 3, remember our KCC rules are keep, change, change. Keep the x, change the subtraction to addition, and change the negative 3 to a positive 3. So I'm going to have x plus a positive 3, or just x plus 3. And that is our equation of the line that passes through negative 3, 6 with the slope of negative 5 written in point slope form. The next example we're going to do is we're going to look at how do we, if we have an equation in point slope form, how do we graph that? So let's go ahead and look at that one. We're going to graph y minus 1 equals 2/3 x plus 2. Remember, the 2/3, that's our m. Remember, that's a slope. That's not a point, that's a slope. It's how much our line leans. I need a point now. Y minus 1, that 1, that is our y value, or a y1. Now this says plus 2. To make that plus, it's like x minus a negative 2, like what we did in the example above. So my x value is actually negative 2. So my ordered pair is negative 2 comma positive 1. So we'll plot the point first, negative 2 positive 1, and then I'll use my slope. Remember, slope is rise over run. So I'll start at that point, and then I'll count my slope. Up 1, 2, over 1, 2, 3. And I'll put a point there. Up 2, over 3. I could keep doing that if I want. Up 2, over 3. Up 2, over 3. Oops, my points disappeared on me. Now you'll use your straight edge and you'll draw a line through these. I can't use a straight edge on this program. I apologize for that. But that's how our graph will look. Okay, so that's how I graph a line in point slope form. My next example is writing the equation of the line that passes through 2 points. Passes through 1, 4, and -2, -3. Let me change ink colors here. Remember, I need the slope and I need a point. Well, I can use either one of these points, but I got to find the slope. Remember, I can find slope if I'm given 2 points by doing delta y over delta x. Alright, so let's compute that. Delta y is y2 minus y1 over delta x is x2 minus x1. So let's plug those in. I'm just going to start with a 4 for the y, so 4 minus -3 over, if I started with the 4 for the y's, I got to start with the 1 for the x's. 1 minus -2. Alright, use your keep, change rules. Keep, change to addition, change to positive. Keep the 1, change to addition, change to positive. Alright, so when I do that, it just gives me 7 over 3. So that's my slope. Now I'm going to use my slope in one of these points. I'll just pick 1, 4. Alright, and I'm going to use that to write my equation. Remember, the equation is y minus y1, 4 is my y1, equals m, 7 over 3, times x minus x1. The 1 is my x1. And there is my equation. I could write it also with -2, -3. I could do y minus a -3, and I could do x minus a -2. And in the long run, it'll give me the same answer. Okay? All right, one last thing is I want you to look at this fourth question. It says, what information do you need to write the equation of a line in point slope form? Take about 5 seconds, see if you can answer that on your own. Okay, so there's your answer. You need the slope, which is m, and a point on the line, which we call x1, y1. Right, if you need to go back and review this video again, please do. And that's it for this lesson.